I'm going to launch SketchUp right from my desktop so that I start out in a blank world. You don't need to go to Files for You if you're just launching the app itself. And you start out with a person. We're going to leave him there for now so that when you build, you have a sense of scale. How big is what you're creating versus a human being? And as you go, you can start with a shape on the ground. That's one way to start. And this is obviously a very rectangular building at the moment. But as you are aware, you can build things off of your building. You can use the move tool to move individual lines. You can move individual points. That sometimes gets a little bit interesting. You can, of course, do doors and windows. And think about, again, how big is a person versus your doors or your windows. And if you select on that and hit delete, it goes away. And then you have the ability to enter. Now, we're not focused on modeling the inside. If we do the outside only, that's the main focus, although some of you will be able to do the inside as well. But the outside is the main focus for our store. And think about what kind of business you have and how does that affect how it looks. And as you go, we're going to spend the time to really make this have some interesting details. And sometimes that just involves kind of randomly throwing on some lines or some curves and doing some push-pulls and just kind of seeing what kind of interesting things happen as you slightly move things around and push-pull. The idea is that you're giving your store details. And if you looked at a real building, there's all kinds of extra details going on that make them interesting. Here, if you're going to do a window, think about what kind of details can your window have, or what kind of windows do you even want in your store? Would they be up high? Would they be down low? Would it be something large? But in terms of the details, think about, could your window have a frame? That's one simple detail that might make it a little bit more realistic versus just a rectangle. And as you recall, in the paintbrush tool, there is a category called translucent that can turn your windows into tinted glass, essentially. And you could have some windows around your store. So start getting some overall structure. Again, remember the line tool can paint on things. And if you have a closed shape, you can push-pull that out. You can also use the arc tool. Any of the tools that we've talked about. Think about on the roof. The roof might not look like the roof of that house from the first tutorial. That's okay. The roof of a retail store or a hotel or a restaurant generally doesn't look like a house anyway. So for those of you that remember the first tutorial where you took a line and brought it across and brought it up, your retail business might not have that particular effect. Who knows? Be creative. Be unique. Make something that is just kind of interesting to you. And if you don't like what you're doing, then hit undo and get it back to the point where you did like it. All right, so start out by building some structure. When you feel like you're ready to add some signs to your building, go check out the next video.